Yeah, the reason why Mary, myself and Corny are here is because we want to help you make some basic shifts in some basic ways. And if we can just go through those ways with you. The first way is we want to help you grow in your desire to receive God's love. So it's one major way that we'd like you to grow. Many of you don't grow in your desire or have not grown in your desire to receive God's love. All right? Are we all right? Okay. So another way is we want you to grow in your desire to actually love God. See, a lot of times we're so narcissistic that we don't think that maybe God might like our love. We just want love from God, but we don't often think that God might want our love. And so frequently we don't actually have a relationship, because a relationship is a two-way thing, is it not? Yep. So a relationship is one, two people involved in something, a relationship. So we would like to help you grow in your relationship with God as your primary focus. Now, how do you feel about that? Do you feel that is your primary focus? No, not really. What's been the primary thing that's attracted you to divine truth then, if that's not your primary focus? If we go across to there, thank you.
Yeah, well, for me, I thought for a long time that it was.
Yep.
And possibly intellectually it still is.
Yep.
But my soul is just not there. Just so rebellious and so resistant.
Okay. And let's get away, if we can, from saying intellectually it's like this, but emotionally it's like that. Because to be frank with you, anything intellectually where it's one thing and emotionally the other thing, it means the intellectual thing isn't real, it's just a great big facade anyway. So let's just stop that straight away, shall we? Can we just say how we really feel? So whenever you say intellectually it's this, emotionally it's that, you're trying to justify why you're at least doing something. You've got it intellectually. Does that make sense? And we need to get away from that if we're ever going to make any real progress. We need to see things as they really are. That's the reality. Okay. So do you want to grow into becoming a more loving individual? Now let's get really honest about this. Do we really want to grow and become a more loving individual? Well, how do you define love? Do you define love as you getting everything you want, you doing everything you want, everybody else fitting into your life, you get all your addictions met? If that's how you define love, then you're not growing in love. You're growing in bartering, addiction, and a lot of other things. So do you really want to grow in love? Is the real question. Now, I suggest that what I observe in many of you is that you haven't grown in love, so therefore you don't want to. All right? And we've got to work out why you don't want to. And that's something we'll be trying to help you with over the next few days. Okay? How do you know whether you really want something? I'll just leave you with that question because we're going to discuss that more today. So what we want to do, Mary, myself and Corny, is we want to highlight to you your stagnation and your resistance to growth. We want to help you get beyond the point you currently are and into a point where you're really sincere about your relationship with God, that you're really sincere with your relationship with wanting to grow in love, and you're really sincere about all of these things to do with God's truth. That there is actually a demonstrable sincerity inside of your actions. That's where we'd like to help you go.